Hey Leo, how's it going everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and I'm coming at you with your June 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope all is well. Just want to mention before we start, if you are interested in personal services, products, and so much more, feel free to check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below. I do want to mention it's last call, guys, on the spring sale, so we got about a week and a half left. If you're interested in getting a 15-minute personal reading with me for 20% off, feel free to use code POPPIN. That's going to be POPPIN for 20% off at checkout. Only on CancerMoonsTarot.com. All right, though, Leo, with all of that out of the way, you did have a star in reverse randomly come out for you. This could be representing that you might not feel like you're currently aligned to where you're supposed to be. Star reverse could be misalignment, so it's kind of like, you know, I thought that this was the right path. Maybe it's not. I do feel like some of you could be having like a sudden realization that like where you did end up aligning to, you thought it was the righteous path at first, but now it feels like the false path, if you will. So for some of you, you could be feeling like you've been misaligned somewhere. All right, but without a further ado, let's get on into it and see what's going on here for June 2023 for the zodiac signs of Leo. All placements, any placement of Leo, feel free to come on out and watch. All right, let's have a look here. Starting with the overall energy of the reading, we begin your reading here with the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands sometimes can be about moving to a place relatively quickly, sometimes kind of too quickly. And I do think to a certain extent that might be what some of you are feeling here. It's like, okay, things have advanced rather quick, rather fast. Maybe a relationship has moved really fast. It's like you guys got together a couple months ago, now you moved in. You know, maybe that happened for some of you, maybe not all of you, maybe for one of you, right? But at the end of the day, Knight of Wands, something has accelerated very quickly. It almost kind of feels to me like you're having doubts about the path you're on just because of how fast things have unfolded. Maybe if there was a little bit more time, more planning, maybe if there was a little bit more patience put into this plan, things might have turned out a little better, or you would have been more sure of yourself that this is the right way to go, or this is the right path to be a part of. All right, moving on forward. Let's have a look here into your current situation, Leo. Looking at the current situation for you guys, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Wands showing up here too, and lastly, Seven of Swords coming out to play as well. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a feeling here, guys, of wondering if you've given too much too quickly. Nine of Wands is definitely the card here having doubts. Seven of Swords could be the card here of kind of like self-deception, or it could be the card here of feeling like maybe you have put yourself in a bit of a rough position. And then the Page of Pentacles is like, I wish I invested a little less. I think I over-invested into something. Or I think that I went way too deep into something and maybe I didn't give it a whole lot of thought, you know? For example, it's like, I feel like I moved this relationship too quickly, or I feel like I committed to this job or this situation so quickly when maybe I should have took a look at more of the bigger picture. So you really feel like you have moved into a path relatively fast, and it's kind of brought you to a point where you're having doubts and second thoughts on whether or not this is the righteous path for you. Well, what about this path? Is this the righteous path for Leo, or is this a false path for Leo? We have here the Moon card, and following up that Moon card, we also have here the Eight of Wands. I think this is a fleeting feeling, so I wouldn't necessarily say, remember guys, in the beginning the star came out reversed. I did mention to you guys how you kind of felt like you were misaligned. When I asked for clarification on if you're on the right path or wrong path, what I got here is Moon card here and the Eight of Wands. It's a fleeting feeling you're having, so this feeling isn't going to last forever. So even if you feel misaligned right now, I think that there's no mistakes. I think we're always where we're at because we're supposed to be there. So wherever we are in life, we're meant to be there at that time. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this screams misalignment to me. I'm kind of getting that feeling here. Like survey says, Moon card here to the Eight of Wands. It is a fleeting feeling. What you feel right now will definitely change for you going forward, okay? So that's what I'm getting here so far. So you're not misaligned. Even though you may feel this way, it is a fleeting feeling. All right, let's have a look here and see what you need to be aware about for your month ahead. What does Leo need to be aware about in June 2023? We got here the Chariot. Moving on forward from that Chariot, we have here the Two of Swords, we have here the Three of Cups, and then lastly, we do have here the Seven of Cups as well. So Chariot card here to the Two of Swords, you know, I definitely think that in terms of awareness, it is going to be kind of a month of indecisive energy and indecision. Like I said, the feeling here is fleeting, but it comes on very strong jumping into June 2023. So in June, you got this super strong feeling of like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here, or I don't know if this relationship advancing so quickly was supposed to happen. I don't know if I was supposed to really hunker down and invest in this job, or I don't know if I should have got this house, right? Whatever kind of decisions that have led you to the point of where you are today, you are second guessing them and it comes out quite clear. But Three of Cups here to the Seven of Cups. It's a little rough though, because you're in a space where you're confused. You are pretty much enjoying what it is you have, but then it's very difficult to enjoy it when you're confused if you're actually where you're supposed to be in life. So this is where it becomes hard to enjoy the good thing you have right in front of you. What I would say here for you, Leo, is just because something unfolded quickly doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. I think that once again, what you're having here is a fleeting feeling, but the more you kind of confuse yourself, or the more that you kind of look at this and maybe read into it too much, the more you're missing out on enjoying something that's good that you have right in front of you. So I really do feel like this is going to be a month where you kind of have to assess that you are where you are for a reason. And I think that the more that you can focus on that aspect, the more easier it's going to be to enjoy where you are in your current moment in your life. Now, having a look going forward, what is it exactly that all my Leo peeps need to hear right here and right now? We have here the Two of Cups. Exactly. You're where you're supposed to be. We have here the Ace of Cups. We also have here the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, your journey is just beginning. You think that this is fast? You think you got where you were relatively quickly? You just wait to see what else sprouts and what else grows is what I'm hearing for you guys at this time. So Two of Cups showing up here. You are in a place in your life where you're supposed to be. You're connected to where you're supposed to be. Ace of Cups. There is a lot of abundance here. There's a lot of love here. There is a lot of emotional fulfillment here for you. So definitely don't doubt that. I think the important part to focus on this month is not so much about reading into where you are, but take a look at your emotional state of being. Are you happy where you are? Because if you're happy, that's what counts. That's definitely what matters, And if you feel comfortable where you are, that's definitely what matters too. Looking at the Seven of Pentacles here says, Leo, you planted seeds. Those seeds are starting to grow, but you also aren't even at the tip of the iceberg yet. You're just at the tip of the iceberg, if you will. There's so much more to uncover. So I'm definitely getting the vibe here for you, Leo, where it's like where you're at right now is certainly just the beginning. So don't you worry, there's more to come, and you are where you're supposed to be. So I feel like this is a reaffirming month of like, you have to kind of look at your situation and know that you're exactly where you need to be, and don't worry too much. Don't second guess yourself. You are exactly in alignment with your truest path. Now, Seven of Swords could be a situation here where maybe somebody put something in your head. Maybe somebody here planted a negative seed in your head that you're not on the right path. Let's say, for example, you started a job, things have evolved relatively quickly. Then maybe you had a parent and their concern was that, I don't know, things are moving too fast. Are you sure this is stable? Are you sure this is good? Maybe like a parent or a person planted a false seed in your mind, which has caused you to second guess and doubt yourself. Maybe you started a business and business is taking off quite well, and then you're starting to notice that business is rapidly growing and you're spending a lot of more money, but you're making more money. And then somebody says, well, why don't you take things a little bit more slow? You never know what could happen. There's not much security when you start your own business as you're the own boss, right? And at the end of the day, when we think about it, no job is actually secure. So just throwing that out there, whether you work for yourself or work for another person, just like you can go down under, so can that company. So there's no such thing as job security. Regardless, that is another rant for another day. Let's say somebody planted that negative seed in your head. Then now you're doubting yourself. You're like, well, shit, my job expanded so much, but like, what if like suddenly after all this money I spent, the expansion slows down and I'm going to miss out and lose everything, right? So there's a lot of worry and fear that could have been planted in your mind from another person. And if that is the case, don't let other people get in your head. And don't let other people plant seeds in your head. The only thing that you should be focusing on is the seeds you've planted for yourself. Okay? All right. Moving on forward, though. Let's have a look here in the Kipper and see what's going on. What else does Leo need to hear right here and right now? Coming on into June 2023. What else does Leo need to hear? We have here toil and labor. And we also have here the main female and the family room. Interesting. Toil and labor is an interesting card coming out first for you, because this can be representing that you're working relatively hard. So for Leos right now that are busy at work, I definitely do feel like you're putting in a lot of the hours, but I want you to know though that at the end of the day, if you're putting in a lot of work, but you're putting in a lot of work with something that you love, then it's worth putting in that extra work and being tired because you're doing what it is you love. Now, on the flip side, if you're putting in lots of work into a situation that maybe you don't love, then take a look and see if that's the type of labor you really want to be doing. So I do feel for some of you, this might be a time here to reconsider how hard you're working on something, because if you're working hard on something you cannot stand, you're wasting time. If you're working hard on something you love, you're creating something wonderful. So keep that in mind, I feel. All right, now moving forward, we do have the family room and we have here the main female. Now, main female can be a feminine energy in your life, and I'm kind of getting the energy for some Leos that this main feminine energy in your life kind of had a lot of control in your life. So this can be a mom. If it's not a mom, it could be somebody who is a mother figure, or it could be somebody in your life who is a very, it's like a feminine figure you heavily look up to. And I get that feeling here with the main female where this is somebody who's had a lot of control. You've kind of always sought out counsel from this person, or you look up to this feminine energy for guidance. And I think that jumping into this month, it's time to kind of detach from this feminine energy and to detach from their guidance. And the reason why I say this is because it feels to me like it comes from a place of control. And you relied so much on that control because in the past you saw that control as comfort, but now it's not comfortable anymore when this person is acting the way they've always acted, which is coming from a controlling place. Let's say, for example, this is a mom. Maybe you've always looked up to your mom for advice. You've always looked up to your mom on what to do and how to do things and how to get things done. And when you're younger, that's great. In a way, it's kind of nice to be told what to do. You listen to your parents because your parents know what's best for you, yada, yada, yada. But as you grow older, you form your own opinion. You know what you want to do. You go down your own path. And what was once comfortable, being told what to do, is now uncomfortable for some as well. So I get that feeling here, Leo, that if there's some sort of feminine power, and keep in mind, guys, it doesn't matter if this is a female or not. It doesn't matter the gender, just we all have feminine and masculine energy. But whoever has a very powerful feminine energy in your life that you might have looked up to, I think it's time to kind of detach from that because it's coming from a place of control. It does not feel anymore like it's a place of love and support. So you might want to watch out for that. Now, the family room is showing up here too. And this card's always been interesting to me because when you think of the family room, you think of a place in life where you can relax. You hang out and spend time with your family. You enjoy yourselves. You unwind. I feel for you, Leo, it's kind of hard to unwind when there is so much going on around you to the point where you don't feel like you have the time to focus. For some Leos, this entire reading is about I've created a wonderful business, I'm thriving, or I've been working super hard, I'm getting lots of money, or I'm in a relationship that moved quickly and it's going wonderfully. You've been putting a lot of work into something, and I think that you haven't given yourself enough time to kind of take a step back and appreciate the work you've put into what you've created. And I think that at the same time, Leo, you haven't given yourself enough time to kind of take a step back and regenerate a little bit of your energy. So I feel here, it's a time to unfold and relax a little bit more than you're currently doing. You know, let's say, for example, if you are starting to feel a little doubtful about your relationship, have a day for yourself. Treat yourself to go out. Go shopping for yourself. Take yourself out to dinner. Go hang out with some friends. Do something different than spending the day with your partner. If you've been working your ass off, take a break from work. Maybe order pizza, watch some Netflix, veg out, chill out, and have a good time. I feel like if you can separate yourself a little bit from what it is you're having doubts about, you'll probably see a lot more clearly just how good it is, the thing you have. For example, if you take a break from the relationship, and I'm not saying necessarily a real break, but if you take a day off from spending time with your person, you'll probably end up seeing just how much you really care about that person, because the next day will come, you'll miss them, you'll want to be with them. If you take a break from your job that you've been working hella hard on, and then you feel good, you relax, the next day you'll come back to work feeling refreshed and ready to go. So I get the feeling here where some of you should take a step back because it'll help you see how much you appreciate what you have just being away from it. And at the same time, it'll regenerate you to want to put more of an investment into what's growing here at this time in your life. So I think a break would be really good. Something that's very temporary, very short break. It could be beneficial here for you at this time. And I also think that it's going to reaffirm the feeling that you're on the right path instead of reaffirming doubt. You know, for example, if you've been doubting your relationship, it's like take a day off from seeing your partner or your person and just see how much you miss them and how much you want to see them the next day. You know, that right there is an affirmation of like, oh wait, I want to be with this person, right? So just by having time away from them, it shows you just how much you really care about that specific relationship. So if you've been having doubts, it's a great way to go to see that you still care and that this is the right path for you. All right, moving on forward though. I hope that made sense. I feel like I over-explained way too much. But moving on forward though, Leo, what else can you expect throughout May 2023? Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What else can my Leo peeps expect throughout the rest of their month? We have here the star. Now remember, in the beginning of the video, the star was in reverse. Now the star card's in the upright. So it's about seeing that you are where you need to be. So I like that you guys are going to start finding comfort in the fact that I'm at where I'm at in my life because I'm supposed to be here. Now we do have here the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. Moving forward from that, we also have here the Four of Cups. And then lastly, we have here the Empress. Yeah, remember that false seed I told you that's been planted? Because I really got a strong feeling that somebody here, Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, somebody here planted a false seed in your life. Well, guess what? That false seed's being ignored here with the Four of Cups, and with the Knight of Cups showing up over here at this time, you're moving on forward, doing your own thing, moving in your own direction. Now, with the Empress card coming out, it also is a card of growth, but the Empress is somebody who's very self-capable and self-reliant. So I feel like you're really focusing on your own personal growth here, your own formated opinions, and not so much about taking into consideration what other people think or what other people have to say. So this is going to be a month going forward where you're relying more on your gut and you're being more self-reliant, and you're focusing on what you feel is the right moves to make rather than having any sort of external influence make specific decisions for you. Kind of like what I just mentioned about somebody who planted the false seed. I did mention about a high feminine power that could have been influential in your life. If that's been the case for you, like detaching from that is definitely what's showing up here moving throughout the rest of your June, okay? So Leos, you can definitely expect throughout the rest of May to feel more assured and in a comfortable place, knowing that you are where you need to be. And, you know, you're going to keep going forward. You're going to keep focusing on growth. You're going to keep putting your investment forward into whatever this is, whether it's a relationship, a business you started, a friendship, a personal path. It's like, I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm going to keep making sure that I'm going to continue to keep on going and nothing here is going to stop me. Beautiful, guys. I like that. Let's go ahead and have a look here at the overall outcome. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout June 2023. And what do we got? We got here the Three of Swords to the Three of Pentacles. Would you look at that? Wow. Three of Swords to Three of Pence. Now, when we look at the Three of Swords is a card that represents pain. It represents separation. You know, it's usually a place where nobody wants to be. But when you look at the Three of Pentacles paired with the Three of Swords is kind of like you're picking up the pieces, right? So if you were in a place where you felt separated, detached, and unhappy, or confused, Three of Pentacles says you now got everything together. You now have everything under control. You now are in a place where you understand what needs to happen next. So Leo, what I like so much here about this message for you is that you're moving out of that energy of doubt into this reinforced strength of like, I know where I'm going and I know where to keep working towards, okay? So Three of Pentacles is about being put back together, especially if you felt like you weren't so put together when the month originally started. I did mention indecision showing up here for you in the month of June, but I do feel like that is a fleeting feeling once again with that Eight of Wands to the Moon card. And then inevitably, it's going to transform here into you feeling very comfortable and being in a space of knowing that this is how everything is supposed to be. So Three of Pentacles, everything works out. It goes from not working out to everything working out, or everything is working out just fine, okay? All right, Leos, I really enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. I do hope you enjoyed this reading here as well. And thank you very much for coming on out. As always, definitely feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here into the Soul family. But Leos, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your June, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.